Good morning, Epiphany Church. This morning I would like to lead us in a Good Friday reflection, specifically of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And there's one point that I want to make, and that is Jesus doesn't avoid pain and death. If you've ever watched an MMA fight, you know that there's two ways for a fighter to win a match. One, he can knock his opponent out, and two, he could submit his opponent. And that is basically when the fighter puts his opponent in a position where they fear that they are going to have their foot broken or their elbow. It depends on the type of submission, but they're put in such a compromised position that they are given the opportunity to tap out. And that is a basic human instinct that is carried over into many areas of our life. We all seek to tap out and find ways out of the pain that we're feeling in our lives. And I would propose to you this insanely hopeful truth. Jesus doesn't avoid pain and death. Now, don't get me wrong. Jesus isn't stoic, right? He uniquely, maybe not uniquely, because he is human, he feels this unique human experience of the fear of death. Right? He doesn't actually want to go through dying on a cross, humiliated in front of hundreds and thousands of people, having all of his friends, all of his followers turn their back on him. He doesn't want to do that. In fact, the night before Jesus is crucified, he's in the garden praying, wrestling with his Father, and what is happening? He's bleeding. There's drops. He's sweating drops of blood. Jesus doesn't avoid pain or death. Why is that significant? How does that give us hope? Well, let me encourage you with what Jesus says from John 12:24. He says, "Truly I tell you, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains by itself. But if it dies, it produces much fruit." See, here's the reality. Every single one of us is quarantined in our house. And the rent is still due, even though we can't go to a job. You know, the last however many years of our marriage is being displayed before us, right? Your spouse is reminding you of all your failures. We are in places of unique pain, and it's overwhelming. And I would propose that just like Jesus, we should not avoid pain or death. We all need to learn to sit in this place of pain. Don't try to escape. I know that your human instinct is telling you, I got to get out, I got to run, I got to get away from this. But Jesus paves us a new path forward. One that if we walk with him in, will produce fruit. That seed is going to fall to the ground. And you know what's going to happen? There's going to be life that springs forward out of it. We all even a lot of Christians get really excited. And for good reason for Sunday, right? It's Friday, but Sunday's coming. That's what a lot of people are saying. Because we like to relish and live in this magnificent hope of Jesus overcoming death. And that is profound hope for everyone. But I would suggest that even in death, there is profound hope. Jesus sat there in the pain and in the fear. And he did overcome it. And so, family, as you sit in your house and you feel the isolation of quarantine because of COVID, remember that Jesus was in isolation too. His final words are so profound. Jesus' final words as he was on the cross: Eloi, Eloi lema sabachthani, which is translated, my God, why have you abandoned me? Jesus was confronted by the ultimate isolation from his Father. But Philippians profoundly reminds us when Paul says he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even to death on a cross. And then verse 9 in chapter 2, he says, for this reason, God highly exalted him and gave him the name that is above every name. And Peter in 1 Peter 5 says that if we humble ourselves, right, under the mighty hand of God, and cast all our anxieties on him because he cares for you, that at the proper time, he's going to lift you up. He's going to exalt you. Family, the death of Jesus is profoundly hopeful because it means that Jesus has gone before us in dealing with the pain and in dealing with the death. And as a result, it means that whatever death that we feel, whatever pain that we feel, the sting has been taken away because of Jesus. It means that we don't have to experience it by ourselves. Literally, Jesus has come and fought for you already. Family, I hope that in your deepest sorrow, you can experience the great joy of knowing Jesus. I invite you to continue to turn to him. Join us in praying on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Jump in in any opportunity. This is the time to close the gap with God. Do not sit in your pity. Don't think that God has no words of wisdom, no hope for you and what you're going through. It may not come in the way or the form that you think. You may have to still experience the pain. But you will never experience the pain that Jesus did when he was separated from his Father. Which means that we are now, because of Jesus, one with the Father. Family, I love you. I'm praying for you. Please, if there is anything that I can do for you, let me know. Peace.